Hello and welcome to yet another YouTube video here for Carlisle Network Youth Church. My name is Christian and I am a youth worker in Carlisle and the surrounding villages. So you are so very welcome. If this is your first time, if you're back for more, then fantastic. Thank you so much. I know it's super weird and awkward for us to say like and subscribe and all those things because we're supposed to be friends and it's not supposed to be about numbers, but at the same time it actually sort of helps us a little bit, and we're really wanting to try to get to 100. I know that seems really silly, but then we get our own URL. Now we've just got this super long complicated numbers and letters and dots. So if you haven't yet, then we'd really appreciate it because that just make it so much easier to find it and so much easier to post it in other places. So if you don't mind doing that, that would be fantastic. But we want this to be a conversation. We don't want this to be just me and my friends, for lack of a better phrase, just talking at you. So please do message us back. Please do comment below. Please interact with us. We want this to be a conversation. We want this to be something that we all do together. So comment below if you want, or message us or DM us on Carlisle NYC or at hebronec.youth, sorry guys, on Instagram. So we're there. Would love to hear from you, and let us know how you're doing. Last week we talked about faithfulness, about being faithful to our friends and to our family and to all the people around us that help us and that are part of our circle, but also to people who are outside of our circle, who are going through a hard time, and especially now with all the anti-racist conversations that are happening. So we need to be faithful to that as well. The big word for this week is gentleness, and it's probably something that most of us in some ways probably think of as a weak word. We think of it as something that we should avoid. We don't want to be gentle or weak or those kind of things. And what we need to be is it's a hard world out there. We need to be strong and hard and stand up for ourselves and not let anyone push us around. So we're going to see if there's a little bit of a better way to understand that word, if that makes sense. We're going to check in with Sophie again. It's great to have her on back-to-back videos. And of course, we're going to have our top 5 TikToks. And then now we're going to head over to Brian's word of the week. But we actually have a winner, so well done. You know who you are. We often refer to you as one of our favorites. So really well done. We're going to send a 4-pack of Iron Brew your way this week. And again, keep commenting, guys. Keep trying to guess what Brian's saying. But here's over to Brian.
Hey everyone again. Scottish word time. Last week's word was belter, if I remember, B-E-L-T-E-R, and that's just something that's really good, something that's amazing. So if you put it in sports terms, now the Premier League has started back, if someone scores a good goal, you might say that was a belter. Simple as that. The next word is, for this week, is stooky. Stooky. How do you spell it? What does it mean? I will let you know next week, or the week after, or sometime in the future. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, so once again, just completely confused, but that's all right. That's always part of the fun. So now over to Sophie.
Hi everyone, it is Sophie again, and a little fun fact for you guys who don't know me that well. I love cats. Cats are awesome. Cats are so cute, especially kittens. So the little clip we saw with the boy and his kitten, I may or may not have chosen that. Maybe. Probably. I thought it was really cute. And there's a reason why I picked it. It's not just because kittens are cute. It's because this week we are talking about gentleness, not cats, but gentleness. But the first thing that comes to mind for me when I think of gentleness is parents trying to teach their kids how to be gentle towards their younger siblings or towards animals or whatever it is. And this little boy with his kitten in his little trolley, even though it's adorable, I think he needs to practice his gentleness a little bit more maybe, because that kitten was bouncing all over the place, poor thing. I think it's fine though. Another thing obviously that comes to mind in terms of gentleness is how we approach other people and how we meet them, and a practical way, especially for me in that, is how I listen. Do I listen to people? Am I being gentle in the way I approach other people? And if there's something that these last couple of weeks have shown us, is the importance of gentleness, how we approach other people, how we treat other people with respect, with dignity, with humility, and also listening to other people. And not just listening so that we can tear them down because we think they're wrong, but listening to try to understand better where you're coming from, what's your experience, what's your opinions. Because we all need to learn more, and we all need to understand better, we all need to listen better. So, I don't know, silly example, if I told you that I prefer cats for dogs, I think cats are way better than dogs, would you then be listening to what I'm saying when I say that? Or are you making up all the arguments as to why I'm wrong?
I was with you, Sophie, about listening in order to understand until you start talking a lot of nonsense about cats being better than dogs. I'm just gonna have to go on to your Facebook and your Insta and all your other socials and just start typing angry things at you, because that is just ridiculous. I'm kidding, of course, but cats are the worst, right? So being gentle and humble come from a source of strength, not from weakness. Being gentle does not mean that you let people walk all over you, that you are a pushover. It just means that you have sort of like an inner source of strength that lets you know who and what you are. And that you don't have this sort of need to cover up that weakness with, or those insecurities that you have with like screaming and yelling and bullying and all caps all over the internet kind of an attitude. And instead of me talking more, I'm going to sort of give you two examples and two little video clips really quickly that I think will illustrate it much better than I could say it. So the first clip, you probably heard this week about Man United's Marcus Rashford, who this week wrote this open letter to all the sort of politicians, sharing about his own story of growing up in sort of humble beginnings where food wasn't necessarily something that they always had around. And so he wrote this open letter about the importance of continuing the meal voucher system over summer. So here's Marcus.
Marcus, thank you so much for talking to us today. Tell me why you've written the letter that you've written, how important it is to you.
It obviously has a huge importance for me, probably on a personal level, because you know what families are going through now. I once had to go through that same system, and it's very difficult to find a way out. But now that I'm in this position that I'm in, it's very important for me to help the people that are struggling, and that was the main reason why the letter was written. And you know, whether the outcome is that it doesn't change or it does change, I know that I've done the right thing in trying to help these people. So,
and in the letter, he specifically said something that I thought was really, really, really good. He said, political affiliations aside, so it doesn't matter what your politics are, right? He says, can we not all agree that no child should be going to bed hungry? And I think, like, how can you disagree with that? Nobody should go to bed hungry, right? And we know that the government's listened. And we know that now they're going to put tons of millions of pounds towards helping. And Rashford, he could have screamed and yelled and used his giant Twitter follower to embarrass people. But instead, he just wrote from the heart something really humble and gentle and just said, this is not okay. And now there's Malala, and some of you probably heard of her. She is amazing. She's the youngest Nobel Peace Prize winner in history. She was 16 when she won, and she was even shot in the face by the Taliban because all she wanted to do was go to school, and she was campaigning for other girls to go to school. Here you go.
I think one of the reasons people are so drawn to you and your story is not just because of the journey you've been on, but because of the focus you bring to other people's journeys. And this book, We Are Displaced, is another example of that. My journey and stories from refugee girls around the world. Why did you feel the need to include other stories other than your own? I mean, your story is already so amazing. Why bring in others?
Yeah, people already know about my story, and displacement was part of my life in Pakistan and then also moving to the UK. But I have met girls around the world who have been displaced, who have lost their homes, and often people talk about refugees and immigrants in numbers and in figures, and we hear about refugees, but we never hear from refugees.
Right.
And for me, it was so important that we hear from these girls, hear their stories and get inspired, and you know, they show resilience and bravery and courage, and I think they have overcome all these difficulties. So there's a lot for us to learn from them.
And you know, nobody would blame her if she was angry and upset and yelling and screaming at everyone because she got shot in the face, right? Or that she would have bragged about her accomplishment. The guy that was interviewing was sort of saying, like, if I went into Starbucks and I was you, I'd be like, as a Nobel Prize winner, I want a latte or whatever. You know, like a Nobel Peace Prize is a pretty big deal. She's written books, right? And she's not, you know, she's still really, really young. But she doesn't do that. Instead, she tells the story of other people and lifts them up. And I think that that's fantastic. And all this is really good and really important. And just a little quick thing for those of us who are Christians, I think there's some encouragement from the Bible that said that we should always be humble and gentle and be patient and accept one another with love, because it says that we're joined together with peace through the Holy Spirit. And we should do all that we can to be together in this way. And then it says, let peace hold you together. TikToks. So here is our list. Number 5. And number 4.
Impossible, 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 impossible.
Our third favorite.
What's wrong? Mama. Did you just say mama? Did I just get your first words? Did you just say mama?
Almost at the very top.
Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious.
And our final most favorite TikTok this week is...
Hey Abby, let's make sure there's none of that premarital kissing stuff going on. Oh, Abby, what does this dude do for a living? Abby, I need my armpit hair extensions back. Those are mine. This was really nice, guys.
All right. Did you agree? Did you know any other ones? Send us some suggestions if you have them. We'd love to hear from you. What did you think? So now it's just for us to say goodbye and for us to ask you, what do you think? What do you think it looks like for you to be gentle? And for you to treat others with gentleness, or for you to treat yourself gently? How do we treat people gently with our words? How do we treat them gently with our actions? And what we post or repost online? Let us know. Comment below or DM us, Carlisle NYC, or at hebronec.youth. We'd love to learn and hear from what you're thinking about this, and we'd love for it to be a conversation. So that's us for this week. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.